Welcome, sports bettors, to BetRepublic's Daily Line. I'm your host, Sonny Palermo. Today, going to take a look at some of the early bowl games, but I want to remind you first, 17th of December, BetRepublic.com. Going to have our bowl special preview, looking at all the games. Was a time, actually most of the time, for most of my life, I've been betting for more years than I can remember. But whenever someone said, hey, what do you think about this college game or that college game? I would always tell them, have got nothing to do with it. Can't stand the crooked little bastards. Every time there's a fixed court case, a court case on fixed games rather, unless it's the Black Sox or the recent Tim Donaghy stuff, it's always been the kids. Why? Who's more likely to shave a few points? $1 million a year basketball player or a minimum wage from the NCAA kid? Minimum wage, of course, in the NCAA is zero. So most of the court cases, seriously, through the years, it's involved college sports. I don't trust the crooked little bastards. But about 4 years ago, I loved playing with math, and I came up with this little formula. I said, let's try something with just in the college bowls. Let's see how this works. So what I do basically, what you see here is each of the games and 7 categories across the top. Stuff that you can get anywhere like ranking, strength of schedule, passing, defense, rushing, offense, and there's one stat in there of my own doing, and I rank each team in each game. Anytime I get a team that has a better number in 7 categories, 6-1 record against the spread over the last 3 bowl seasons. When I get one that hits on 6 out of 7, it's still over 67%. It takes a lot of work to do this, and within this, I've also got a few other systems. In other words, I have a strength of schedule system that is 10-1 over the last 2 years. I haven't gone back to the first year I did it. Don't have my notes with me, but it's 10-1 over the last 2 years. Made some cash with that one last year. I have a second half adjustment play over the last 3 years. This one is 3-0. I didn't read my notebook for this one because I went out to the internet and found the information using the first half scores. Second half system play, 9-0 over the last 3 years, 3-0 each of the 3, and we cashed on all 3 of them last year and did really well. After I put all these numbers together, I come up with a script. This year, I've got 14 plays in the script, and I probably, at BetRepublic.com this year, shared close to 80 to 100 college plays that do a lot of team totals. Not a single 2-unit play in there, but I'll have at least 2 or 3 in the bowl system, including the only game where a team won all 7 categories, and again, that's 6-1 over the last 3 years. I've got those 14 plays on script. First one coming up, Oregon State on 12/22 versus BYU. Now, at BetRepublic, I've already sent out public notices to my teammates. Of the 14 games that I have scripted, I bought 3 of them back on 12/8. We took Cal, Miami, and Nevada. And the reason I sent those out right after I did this work and figured out that they factored into one of my systems is because I knew those lines were going to move against me. We got Cal at 3. Cal's 3.5, 4 everywhere now. Miami's still sitting at 3, but no harm. I just put out the money a little early. Nevada, we bought at 14. That number's 15. It's going to climb from there. And then about 3 or 4 days later, I sent out my second notice and said these lines are going to start moving as we get closer to these games. Oregon State was one of them. Sent it out at 2.5. It's still at 2.5. It hasn't moved, but the other 2, USC and Florida, have both moved against us, and we got key numbers. When you buy, just as important as what you buy. So the first game we've got coming up on the script, Oregon State, will not be a 2-unit play, but within the 14, I'll have at least 1, and I've also got, as I said, system play for the second half based on first half scores, so I don't know which games we'll have it in, but we're hoping to get at least another 3, because that's 9-0 over the last 3 years. So that's our pick for today, Oregon State in the bowl game against BYU rather, on 12/22. Lay that 2.5 now, may go to 3, but be sure to join us back here at BetRepublic.com for the full game show on Thursday the 17th, and also we'll be sending out YouTube picks all through this bowl system. My first 3 years doing this, by the way, over 60% each year. Would have been a little bit higher, but I tend to go off script and add some other stuff just because I want some action. But I'll be limiting that this year so I can maximize profits for me and my teammates at BetRepublic.com. See you there.